Okay, so you expect one question from here. Okay, one question on network security. Quite briefly, okay, let me go to the okay, this one. The objectives, the objectives of this chapter here on network securities. Okay, explain why basic security measure is necessary. Okay, why do we need to have to secure our devices, to secure our network? Okay, and then understand what are network vulnerabilities. And with network vulnerabilities, of course, you have network attacks. Okay, then identify some general mitigation kind of techniques used, okay, to prevent this kind of attacks. So we will be looking at network security, and at the same time, we will be looking at device security. Okay, we are not covering all types. Okay, since here our network involves with routers and switches, then we will cover on those two. Okay, we are not looking at how you're going to harden your web server or your FTP server, that kind of thing. Okay, but we will explain some of these terms. Okay, but not to go into the real detailed steps of how you harden your web server. Okay, so the threats, the types of threats that we have for our network is in terms of, okay, you lose your information, okay, you have your data being manipulated or altered, okay, and somebody steals your passwords or username, and then with that, okay, they steal your information, they manipulate your information, or sometimes they cause your network to be disrupted, okay? So you don't have any of those common network services. So these are the types of threats that we're looking at. Now, so we can classify these types of vulnerabilities basically into three categories. In terms of technology, in terms of configuration, and also in terms of our company, your company policy, what is the security policy? So these are the three general categories. Okay, so when you look at technology vulnerabilities, then we'll be looking at what type of equipment are we using. Our equipments are installed with what kind of operating system, because different type of operating systems have different kinds of vulnerabilities, and even the version, different version have different vulnerabilities. Okay, so we'll be looking at all those, and those are under technology vulnerabilities. Configuration, okay, this one is all within our IT personnel control, in a sense that, yeah, when there's configuration vulnerabilities, that means the IT personnel, okay, has not done his due diligence. Okay, that means the way you configure it, how you configure it, you didn't actually protect some of these ports here, one thing, and also maybe you just simply use the same password as what they use in the factory, in the Cisco factory. You didn't change the password, okay? Or some ports you just leave it unsecure. Not only ports, some services, okay, you just leave it there unprotected, okay? So these are considered as configuration vulnerabilities, okay? In terms of company security policies wise, okay, then that is how the company set up a policy. For example, you have the password security, okay, and then you have the standard operation procedure to follow, okay. Standard operation procedure means you have certain group of people that has certain rights, okay, to do something. And in case if there's any power failure, okay, you don't know how to go and put up the system. No, there is some fixed procedure here that you will have to follow for power failure. So is for every maybe 3 months, okay, you need to do backup, okay. Then there's also a fixed procedure for doing backup, okay. And then also there is a periodic updating, upgrade, okay, upgrade your software or patch files that you need to update. All these, okay, there are rules there that you have to follow. So all these type of rules are company security policy. Apart from, okay, you actually give rights to certain group of people to do certain things, okay. So these are called security policies, okay. So we group them up into technology, configuration, and security policy. In terms of security, okay, you can classify them also under another group called physical security, meaning to say that you do not leave your equipments lying around, okay. So that means you have to secure the environment. Okay, all our racks, although in our lab, you see them housing the routers, switches, and servers in the tall rack, okay. Actually, these tall racks here must be in the locked room. So anybody who goes in, okay, comes out, they have to fill up a log book, okay. That is very important, okay. So I will classify those, okay, as under physical security in a sense that you sometimes, okay, whoever that comes in to our company to do any maintenance, okay, we need to keep track of them. And we also need to know, okay, who are the people going into the server room, because they can actually steal information from there. Okay, this ever happens in Australia airport. Okay, some maintenance guy claimed to be saying that they want to maintain the equipments, the network equipments in there. But later they found out that they actually went to download from the server. You see, in this server here, it consists of who are the passengers at which flight and what flight schedule, all this. So passengers in which flight and what flight schedule are supposed to be kept confidential. Okay, so if you have some celebrities or important people in there, okay, some people may have plot for something else you do not know. So we cannot afford to have anyone just going in or into the room, the server room to do any maintenance. Okay, and another thing is about physical security is like, for example, the September 11 financial center, the New York Twin Tower. Okay, we know that is a financial center, Twin Tower. Okay, so the banks, they always have a lot of transaction going on per day. You need to have constant backup in there. Okay, now you won't want to back it up in the same environment. That means your backup copy is within the same physical location. Should there be any hazards like fire or flood or whatever, okay, then his backup will be gone, right? Okay, and then also we need to consider that in the network operation center, we usually have a backup power supply as well. Okay, the uninterruptible regulated power supply, we call the UPS. We need to have that as well. okay, in case there's a power failure, right? And then in the NOC room, humidity needs to be taken care of, okay, the temperature, the humidity, and recently I found out also, they need to have some gas coming out into that. I do not know what gas lah, okay, like our upstairs T932 lab, okay, I think 1.5 years ago, there was smoke coming out, okay, from the small little network operation room there, okay, and then they found out that they didn't comply to the environmental compliance, so they need to actually get a contract, okay, to get these people to put a tank, and the tank was giving out some kind of gas. I don't know what kind of gas is that. So that environmental threats there also need to be taken care of, okay. What else? Okay, so these are the 4 factors here for physical security, the hardware threats, okay. Especially switches, okay, now I'll talk a little bit on the device security. For example, if you have any switches around, and then, okay, you only use certain ports, then some ports you do not use. You have to make sure you switch down these ports. Because if somebody come in maintenance with their laptop, they can just connect to any of the open ports there and then just join into the network, okay? So that we need to take care as well.